And welcome back to the Tuned In podcast.
March, boys, we're here.
It's March. Basketball season, basketball month, basketball
Yes, sir.
holiday, I would say.
If you're a sports fan, this is the Mecca. The 4 days of the year we all wait for.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge the bracket that you've got in your on your wall. I love it.
Got a big one printed off.
Laminated and prepared to fill out as the games go along. I love to see it.
Oh, yeah, man. It's been fun. There's been a lot of great games. I guess we'll talk about it later. But
yeah, have you had any fun
awesome.
March Madness traditions that you've done or kept up?
I mean, I'll say it feels a little different this year. I'm not like a student, so I'm usually watching March Madness in class, which kind of is fun in its own. Because you're hyped, but you gotta be reverent in class. So it's been kind of weird this year, being able to take days off or even kind of fun. But
yeah, one of my teachers had it on, but then once class started, he turned it off. I was like,
man, that's
been really nice of my teacher just leave it on during class. But
did you have any high school teachers that would play it in their rooms or anything?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. There was some pretty cool teachers.
I never had any teachers that did it in class. I knew there were some, but there was some that during lunch they just had their door open.
Yep.
You could come in. It's
exactly.
So fun. Best teachers. We have an exciting episode today, though, as per usual. Of course, we'll talk about our 3 past week's games. We'll give our player of the week, and then we'll give our predictions for the upcoming 4 games for this week. We'll give a Tankathon update, talk about where we are with the tank, give some injury updates, a couple more 10 days, Jazz using those contracts. And then we'll talk about some kind of exciting NBA news, league expansion, we'll give a playoff preview, and then we'll talk local sports, which will include our March Madness, of course.
Make sure to follow us on all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, anywhere. Make sure to check out our last couple episodes. We talked a lot about some March Madness last episode. If you're looking to see who the Jazz may target as you watch March Madness. And also make sure to follow us as we get ready for the draft, get ready for the off season.
And this is episode 99 of Tuned In Jazz.
All right. Well, we just had 3 games since our last episode.
Sir.
Nothing too crazy. I would say about as much variety as you could have in some results of the game. But somehow we lost to the Kings. I guess the Kings have kind of been turning it up a little bit as of recent.
I'd say that's also a team we probably want to lose to, just given where they're right above us in the lottery odds. So I don't think we'll catch them, but.
As of right now, we're pretty far behind.
Yeah,
we're
4 games or something.
We're 4 games difference. Yeah. So it's going to be hard to catch them.
Especially with 12, 13 games left. It's up there, so. But yeah, tough loss.
But there's some silver linings. I'd say in each of these games, I feel like there's at least one unexpected stat line.
Talk about the big elephant in the room there. 34 points for Cody Williams, 7 and 7.
Yeah. Is that that might be more points than Ace Bailey's
he also had a block and a
34.
steal. 12 for 20. He's not super inefficient. 3 for 7 from 3. Got to the free throw line 8 times. this is we talked a lot about, I'm sure we'll talk a lot more about Cody Williams in the offseason, but we talked a lot in the offseason about just his lack of aggressiveness, just didn't really seem comfortable on the floor. But getting to the line 8 times, taking 20 shots is not something we thought we'd see from Cody Williams.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe in the G League, but not in the NBA.
I've been a big proponent. I know some people still aren't believers in him. I think that there's a ray of light there, and I don't think that this means that he's saved his career. He's still got to keep working, but there's some light there. He's alive, so.
I'm still skeptical.
That's
I'm
fair.
be real, because I feel like these last few games of the season, you got to take with a grain of salt. You know that guys are gonna have crazy stat lines. I remember Malachi Flynn. No one probably even knows who that guy is anymore. and he
Yeah.
had a 50-point game at the end of the season. And like, I don't know. There are guys like Peyton Pritchard is one of those guys I feel like used to go off at the end of the season,
Yeah.
and he's actually a good player.
Totally.
So I don't know. Just these end season games, you know you're gonna see some guys you've never heard of. Maybe Cody Williams. This could be a jump for him, but I just don't know. I'm a little skeptical still.
Hey, if Bam can score 83, Cody Williams can score 30, I guess.
Yeah, and I looked, and Ace Bailey's career high is 33. So
okay, so they're right there.
Cody Williams just overtook him for the 34 points. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, I still don't believe that he was worth our 10th pick. But
Could have got Buzelis, right?
Yeah, but I think he's at least making a case that he deserves another year, because I think we're kind of at the end of our rope with him a little bit in year 2. But
I feel like the coaching staff believes in him enough for another year. But
totally, yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be kind of interesting.
Also, he had 7 assists and 7 rebounds.
Yeah.
That's never really been something I've thought was his game, but
yeah,
showing a little bit of that too.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, you always know, you never know what you're going to get at the end of the season, because when we started this season, I didn't know that we'd be playing Anderson Garcia 43 minutes
yeah.
in a basketball game, but here we are.
Totally.
Yeah, but I guess another unexpected stat line from the second game against the Timberwolves, we ended up getting blown out by them. Bryce Sensabaugh, 41 points as a starter. Killer game. He was just cooking the whole game. They couldn't really stop him. 41. That's another one of those games you're impressed.
Yep.
Not even his career high, because I think it looks like he had 43 at one point too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's playing really well. I think. Yeah, he's another one. I think that the tank is good for him, where he can, put himself out there, show what he could do on the floor. He doesn't always get that when we're in full compete mode, so I think that's a good thing. The Wolves are also a good team. I don't mind losing to them. I think they're always a competitor in the playoffs, so I think they could take some teams out this year in the playoffs, but
it's kind of fun. Anthony Edwards actually didn't play, but Joe Ingles played 7 minutes.
Let's go.
As well as Mike Conley, 7 minutes. Joe Ingles actually had 7 points, which is probably the most he's had all season.
Yeah.
So there's some good for being down by 30, because then it means you get to see Joe Ingles play.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, that's what I would pay a ticket for over anything in that.
Yeah, just see Joe Ingles set fire to the floor. I think I saw there was also, who was it that blocked Gobert? Did you see that?
No.
I think it was... Looked this up before. Maybe it was a dream. I don't know. Garcia blocked Gobert.
Oh,
That's
really?
what it was.
That's what I was thinking. Could have. He's pretty athletic.
Yeah, Gobert went up for a classic 2-handed dunk, and he just kind of met him at the rim. It was pretty nice, but anyways,
I like that. I think his 10 days is probably over now, or getting close. And then we signed Bez Mabang. Or Bang? Bang. From Yale. I think he was pretty good for Yale in college. And
I think I saw something. He was like the Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year, senior year or something. Apparently a pretty good defender.
If I remember right, I think he played in the tournament, but it's been so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 0 points off the bench, but he played. Yeah.
I guess while we're there talking about that, so we've signed quite a few 10 days at this point. Those two guys we signed. Mo Bamba. I think there was another one last week. I'm trying to think. And then Anderson. Which of those guys do you think was most impressive that you'd keep around longer than 10 days, if any?
I kind of feel like we've had Mo Bamba just around. I don't know why, because I don't think he was really under contract. I think he played for the Stars a little bit.
On the Stars, yeah.
Honestly, if you're talking strictly 10-day people, I think Anderson Garcia's impressed me the most.
Yeah.
Because he's actually, turned up our defense a little bit. And if we could maybe develop a jump shot, I could see him being a rotational player. But in terms of like just two-way guys, I still believe in Elijah Harkless. I think he really does make an impact on the team, and I could see if he can get his shot together, I could see him being like our Royce O'Neal type guy on this team.
Yeah.
Just a guy that comes out of nowhere and is just really good for you defensively.
Yeah, totally.
So I don't know. I really like Elijah Harkless, but just strictly 10 days, maybe Anderson Garcia.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I think I like Anderson Garcia, the energy he's come in and played with. It's kind of the same thing. I think if we're expanding that out a little more, I really like what we've seen from Blake Hinson so far. I know that he's not
Was
really
he
a 10-day.
He was a 10-day or a two-way? Or?
I think he might have been a two-way because he's still on the roster, I believe.
Yeah.
But he just came in and, I mean, he hit that shot over Draymond Green a couple weeks ago to win the game. And so I think he's got a lot of upside, just plays with a lot of energy as well. I think energy is what we need the most because defensively we just get so lazy. So we need some guys to come in and be a spark plug.
I totally agree. Well, then our last game, we won by 30. Swing the tides the other way. Giannis is not playing on the Bucks, so that made it a little bit easier for us.
Yep.
But another crazy stat line, Ace Bailey, 33 points. Him and Cody Williams going back and forth in these games, but he shot 19 3-pointers, made 7 for 36%. Pretty crazy that he's putting up that many threes. But I don't know. I like to see it as a Jazz fan with no real pressure right now. Him being able to jack up shots. We've talked about that a few times the last couple of weeks. We're just happy he's shooting.
Yeah, totally. I think holding him to 96 points, that doesn't happen we don't hold teams under 100 very often.
Yeah.
I mean, the Wolves dropped 147 on us, so to turn around and hold a team under 100, I know that it's the Bucks and they're just pretty bad right now with the way their roster is, but holding any NBA team under 100 points is at least good enough defense. So,
well, if you look at the plus minus, there's 3 guys, and they're all the guys we just barely talked about. Mm-hmm. Anderson Garcia, he had 3 steals, plus 32. Elijah Harkless, plus 33, 10 assists. And Bez Mabang, the defensive player guy from Yale, he was plus 34 for the best plus minus on the team. And he had 1 block and 3 steals.
Let's go.
So, I think you're right. Like, these two-way guys, it seems like the Jazz are targeting defensive players.
Totally.
Because they want that energy. They want that defensive upside. And so they're saying, hey, maybe if we throw around enough 10 days, we'll be able to find the guy.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're saying. Or maybe these 10-day guys will rub off on the rest of the team.
Totally. Yeah. I think having great defenders around also helps mediocre defenders play. But, it's like when we had Gobert, having him in the paint just made guys who weren't great defenders be able to play tighter on their guy and not have to worry as much about them blowing by them or. Yeah. I also think I was listening to David Locke the other day, and he was talking about how, you could have the best defensive scheme in the world, but if you don't have good defenders, you're not going to be a good defensive team. And I think that's where we are, where we're if we want to be a better defensive team, we have to get better defensive players, which I think we addressed a good chunk of that with Jaren Jackson, and Kessler will be back, but...
Perimeter. We need some perimeter.
Totally. So hopefully we can also address that in the offseason, maybe pull in a guy or two. And
I think it is rubbing off on Ace because he had 3 steals too. He was getting in those passing lanes.
Yeah, that's really
So
good.
maybe, if you develop Ace a little bit, he could be a little bit better of a defender.
Totally, yeah.
I've been really pushing and hoping that Collier could be that guy, but I haven't really seen it yet.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see what the Jazz do. Maybe they keep some of these 10-day guys around.
Totally, yeah. Well, that brings us to our player of the week. I'm sorry I have to do it. Cody Williams. I think that might be his first ever, right?
Yeah, first ever.
I don't think he had any last year. In fact, I'm sure he didn't have any last year. Honestly, though...
Shout out to Cody Williams, though. We're joking because it's been such a long journey, but he actually played really well.
Yeah, and honestly, I just feel like he's been showing a lot more lately, against the Bucks, he had 23. In Minnesota, he only had 7, but in 25 minutes. Before that, his last 10 games, 34, 19, 10, 12, 13, 13. So he's getting double-digit scoring, on a pretty consistent basis. I think he's turning into a formidable role player. And anyways, I'm just happy for him that he had his big game, and I think he deserves Player of the Week this week. So
I don't disagree. I think as much as I'm skeptical of Cody Williams, if I had to pick, I probably would have picked him as well.
Yeah.
He's just been playing well this week. He had a 34-point game. He's had a 20-point game. He's had those double-digit games across the season. And it just feels like the coaching staff trusts him.
Totally.
Even though, sometimes I wonder why they do. Seems like they trust him. They're patient with him. They know he's young. And I think he's starting to gain confidence because of that. Even though a lot of Jazz fans don't trust him, the coaching staff does, and I think that's all he needs. And he's already started to look a little better. So we'll see if this lasts. But we got a few games upcoming this week. Just some quick hitters here. Tonight, or tomorrow night. Yes, tonight. We play the Philadelphia 76ers. 11 players on the injury report this game. No Isaiah Collier, no John Conchar, no Keontae Lowry, Jaren.
I bet the ratings for this game are in the trash with March Madness going on too.
Yeah, nobody's watching this game.
Everybody on the injury report.
Even Jazz fans are probably going to be watching March Madness. But who do you got for this game? Joel Embiid's going to be out too, so it's going to be interesting. The Jazz could do something.
Oh wow, shocker! Embiid's out. I'm going to say the Jazz lose, let's say by 8. I think Jazz could lose. I think it could be a tight game down the stretch, but I still really like Tyrese Maxey. I think he's just a guy that could win games for team. So
I'm going to say similar. I think it's going to be close, though. I'm going to say Jazz lose by 3.
Okay.
I think these 10-day guys will really put some pressure on the 76ers without Embiid, and I think it's going to be an interesting finish.
Yeah, totally.
So,
and then we go to the Raptors come to us. Who are you feeling in this game?
I think the Raptors are going to do a little better. I'm going to say they beat the Jazz by 11. I've been really impressed with them this season. I think Brandon Ingram has really elevated their team to another level, and although I don't think they'll do much in the playoffs, I think they'll be able to beat the Jazz.
I'm going to say the same thing. I think Raptors win. I'm going to say kind of big here. I'm going to say by 11.
Hey, same number.
I think so. Raptors are currently the next team in the East who hasn't locked up their playoff spot. And they're also still within earshot of falling into the play-in. They're currently 5th in the East, but they're only a game and a half above Atlanta. So I think Raptors are a team really motivated right now to win every game that they can. And so I think that they're going to come out to torch us. So,
all right, and then Wednesday at home, finish off the homestand, play Washington Wizards. This could be an interesting one. What do you got?
Yeah, a team not trying to get...
They've been on a really cold streak. I think they've lost 14 in a row.
Oh my God.
They're going hand in hand with Indiana trying to get that number 1. Yeah.
And we're the ones getting fined. Anyway, sorry, that's another episode. But I'm going to say the Jazz win this one. It's going to be our win of the week. They're extra motivated to lose. They're letting guys like Bam Adebayo score 83. Cody Williams could have 90. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to say Jazz win by 8.
I'm right there with you. I'm going to say the Jazz win by 9. I think Cody Williams could go for 30 again in this game. Anything is possible when you're playing the Wizards. And so, yeah, I think the Jazz will win. And then we finish it off against the Nuggets on the road. Barring in mind, last time we played the Nuggets, it was a close game. When we had Keontae, of course. What do you think for that?
I think similar to the Raptors, Nuggets do have their playoff spot locked up, but they are still fighting for seeding. They're neck and neck with Rockets and Wolves, so they're motivated to win. So I'm going to say Nuggets win big. I'm going to say by 12.
I'm going to say even bigger. I'm going to say this is probably the biggest margin I've done. I'm going to say the Nuggets win by 20.
Ooh.
It's going to
For
be a
the
big game.
fences.
I think the Nuggets are going to start rolling towards the end of the season. I could see that.
Exciting. Tankathon, I guess we talked about it a little. Jazz are currently in 5th. Kind of seems like that's where we'll stay at this point. Dallas is 2 games behind or ahead of us, I guess, at 6. I think we're pretty solid there. And then Sacramento, who's 4th, is like 3.5 games ahead of us. So I just don't know if we'll really move from 5th, which is not a bad spot for us. So
Yeah, just as long as we don't drop to 6th, I think 5th is a pretty good spot for us to be in.
Gives us pretty much the highest odds to keep our pick, because we would at worst be the 9th pick. That's the lowest pick we could get, which would mean we lose our pick, but that would be like catastrophe if that happened. But you never know. Lottery could be anything. So
yep. And then injury report, of course, everybody's out.
Yeah.
Markkanen's still being he's still got a week or so. Keontae's still got a few days to be reevaluated. And then, of course, Nurkic, Jackson, and Kessler out for the season. So, be interesting. Also, the Jazz signed Kennedy Chandler recently to a contract. I don't really know much about him. Do you know much about him?
I don't really know much about him. I know he played I think he was drafted by the Grizzlies, played for the Blues. Seemed like kind of a journeyman a little bit.
Yeah, he played for the Delaware Blue Coats recently.
Okay.
Played for Tennessee in college. He was a 5-star recruit in 2021. So he was a guy at one point. So we'll see. Maybe he's a defensive player. He's only 5'11", actually. So I don't know if he is a defensive player. Interesting, because that doesn't really fit with our other 10-day guys.
You never know, though. Sometimes those short guys, they know they have to be great defenders, so they...
Yeah, maybe.
At least effort-wise, maybe not. He's not going to block Wemby, but,
yeah.
Who is, I guess. But
yeah, and then I guess we mentioned we signed Bez
Bang. Yeah.
So he's still got a little bit left on his 10-day.
Yeah, I think I like what the Jazz are doing right now. Just, we have some space. Why not use a couple of 10 days, test some guys out?
Yeah,
also does them a favor. Yeah, it does them a favor. They get some NBA film to show teams when they're trying to find their next spot. So, pretty cool.
So it's the big Shams bomb this week.
Yeah.
The NBA is going to vote on expansion.
Yeah, this offseason they'll vote on it.
And I know Adam Silver's talked about this for years. They've kind of just put it off till like they got the TV deals figured out.
Yeah.
Kind of what I've heard. Yeah, what do you think about that? Do you think this could affect the Jazz really, or the NBA as a whole? Like, do you think it'd be good for it?
I think the most interesting storyline about it to me, because I think it's pretty much like a given that the two teams will be Seattle and Vegas. That's kind of what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you've been seeing.
I like Seattle. Vegas, I'm still not sold on.
Yeah, I don't know if it's really a sports city, to be honest. I don't know. But I think the interesting thing about that is like the dynamics of the NBA changing, because you'd have to... I think it would either be New Orleans, Minnesota, or Memphis that you'd have to move to the East. And moving, like, for instance, if it was Minnesota, that totally changes. Like, Minnesota's the top team in the East for sure. I would take them.
I actually think that'd be good, though, because you know the West is always so stacked.
So that might be a good thing for the Jazz, like the West getting a little bit weaker.
Yeah.
More playoff spots open kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think it really makes the most sense for the Timberwolves to move over.
I think so, too.
Or you could make the argument for maybe the Pelicans or the Grizzlies. But the Grizzlies are just so close to like OKC and Texas teams that I think they should stay. So, I don't know. It's just like you've got the Timberwolves, the Bulls, the Indiana Pacers. They're all right next to each other. It just makes so much sense.
Yeah. I think the interesting thing, the divisions obviously don't matter as much in the NBA anymore, but the divisions would certainly have to change, adding 2 teams. You'd suddenly be at 4-team divisions instead of 5. So, I don't know, currently, It makes me wonder if the Jazz would get pulled into, like, would it be Portland, Seattle, Las Vegas, and Utah? Or I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting to see how that would all work out.
I think Portland could maybe go with the California teams. And then
That's true. But if they already had their four, the two LA teams, Golden State and Sacramento.
Yeah, I don't know.
Portland
Maybe they
have to be.
Would they do still 4 divisions, or they could maybe move it down to 3?
Yeah, it'd probably have to be.
I don't know.
Well,
or if they're currently at 3. Maybe they moved to 4.
If there was 16 in each conference, and you could do 4-team divisions.
Kind of go like the NFL route.
Yeah, that'd just be interesting to see how they would do that, because it would be.
And then I think I've heard people, like in hockey, there's 32, maybe 33 teams. And they do just 2 divisions in each conference, which is interesting.
That's true, yeah.
In itself.
So that'd be interesting. I think that would change a lot of dynamics in the NBA. Waters down the talent pool a little bit, but I don't think that's too bad of an issue.
Yeah.
Lots of guys who could ball out.
I know we talk about how the Jazz used to have rivalries with like the Rockets and the maybe the Spurs or the
Nuggets
Bulls a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we move it down to like a 4-team division, I think that could actually spur some better rivalries too.
Totally. I think it'd be kind of fun to like, because I like in the NFL how their divisions are absolutely an important thing in the NFL. Like, makes me wonder if the NBA should go back to a model where divisions actually matter, because then you could have those rivalries where we're like, oh, we're gonna play Vegas today. Like, it's our 8th time playing them this year.
Yeah,
like,
or if your division's crappy, but you win it, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, that would be exciting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's obviously we're a different model than the NFL, but it would be. They should explore the division thing. I think it'd be kind of cool with expansion.
Yeah, another thing I saw just as I was looking. Some people are saying that maybe they should go for Kansas City over Las Vegas, which I actually would support.
I don't hate that.
We've seen what Kansas City's done with Chiefs.
That's true.
With do they have a hockey team? I'm not sure if they do, but they have the Royals for baseball. They're definitely a sports city over there.
Totally. Yeah.
I could see them really benefiting from a basketball team.
Yeah, they could absolutely. There's a lot of great basketball players that come out of. Like St. Louis over there too. Like,
yeah, that could be good.
Jason Tatum's a St. Louis guy, so yeah, that would be really good. I don't know. Either way, I don't think it's a bad thing to expand. I'm sure the owners are for it because they get to split the expansion fees, so it's kind of more money in their pockets. So
LeBron said he has no plans to be part of the Vegas expansion team bid.
I think that was I thought maybe they were waiting for LeBron, but maybe.
Yeah. So I guess that rumor was just a rumor.
But LeBron does say a lot of things, so we'll see what he does. But I guess with league expansion would come an expansion draft.
Yeah, have you ever done one of those in 2K?
I have, yeah.
Those are fun. Those are fun.
I remember back in the day, I was pretty young, but the Charlotte Hornets, or the Bobcats, I guess. I remember their expansion draft. They got like Gerald Wallace and those guys from that. So that it'd be interesting to see. I think it would create it's going to create a lot of drama because I'm sure there will be some players who aren't going to get protected, who teams are like moving on from. And
yeah, especially if it's like a bad contract and they're kind of happy to have a team
move
take
on
it
from
away.
him. Yeah.
Like Zach LaVine, I know has been a contract people have wanted to trade but just never could.
Couldn't get rid of it, yeah.
An expansion team would love to start out with Zach LaVine,
Yeah. So we talked in this episode about doing, I guess, our Jazz. We're a couple off seasons away from this, so it might change, obviously, but talking about who our 8 would be right now, who we would protect. Seemed like it was a little easier than we thought it was going to be, but I'm curious which of your 8 guys you would protect.
So I think it's way easier after the Jaren Jackson trade.
Yeah.
So honestly, if there's an expansion draft, we're chilling as of right now because we draft a rookie.
Yeah.
Who knows what our team would
we'll
look
pick
like
somebody
in
up in
2
the
years.
Off-season. Yeah.
As of right now, of course, for me, I'm keeping Larry Markkinen.
Yep.
I'm keeping Keontae George.
Totally.
The easy ones out of the way. I'm keeping Ace Bailey.
Yep.
And I'm keeping Jaren Jackson Jr.
Of course.
So those are 4 easy ones.
Yeah.
Now the 4 harder ones, maybe. I'm going to keep Walker Kessler.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep Isaiah Collier.
Totally.
Okay. And then I'm going to keep Bryce Sensabaugh.
Yo.
And Kyle Filipowski.
Okay, we had the same 8. Yeah.
Okay. The only ones that I was wondering about is I didn't keep Cody Williams.
I think for me right now, it's still, I don't think Flip has really like solidified his place. I think it would be a question of who's shown more between Flip and Cody Williams, but I think those other 7 are a given at this point.
I could see Bryce Sensabaugh dropping out
Yeah,
too, because
maybe.
he's a little older than some of our young guys.
That's true, yeah.
Just for like the youth.
Totally.
Bryce Sensabaugh's kind of already kind of reached his peak.
Yeah, totally. Also kind of depends on who we draft. I mean, like, I think right now Ace would be protected, but like say Jazz get a stroke of luck in the draft, go get Cam Boozer or DeBonsa, Caleb Wilson. Do we really need an Ace Bailey? Like, could we afford? I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but 2 years from now, you never know what he'll be or if he's developed.
True.
So, be kind of interesting.
Yeah, but pretty easy. I could see with the draft coming up, it could be a little harder.
Yeah, totally.
If we still had Walter Clayton and Taylor Hendricks, I don't think I would still protect them over some of these guys.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
I don't know if you would protect any of them over
Maybe
Sensabaugh
Walter
or
Clayton.
Filipowski.
I don't know if Taylor Hendricks. I might do Clayton over Filipowski. I don't know. That makes it a little tough, but
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it's nice that the young guys we traded away are definitely ones that we're not as worried about losing.
Yeah, totally agree. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure whatever expansion team's not going to be really that interested in the Jazz roster, to be honest.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I mean, they need 13 players, so maybe they'll pick one. I don't know.
Because I think I saw another rule that was like each team can only have one player stolen from them, which is kind of interesting. Like, yeah.
Well, the Mammoth have finally won some game.
Yeah.
After they lost a few after the Olympics ended.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. I think looking at the NHL standings right now, Mammoth are still squarely number 1 in the wild card. They're at 78 points. The Kings and Kraken are both at 72 and 71. Predators are at 71 too, and Sharks at 70. So we could still lose it, but it's our spot to lose. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. We won some games against good teams too. The Dallas Stars, one of the best teams in the league. We beat them 6-3.
Totally.
And the Golden Knights, they're about the same record as we are, I bet, or similar. And we beat them 4-0. That's a rivalry, I'd say.
Yeah.
Vegas Golden Knights. At least when we went to that game, it felt pretty intense.
Currently, we're actually 2 points ahead of the Vegas or the Golden
let's
Knights,
go.
interestingly enough.
Let's go. And they were an expansion team that won a championship.
Yeah.
You know, greater things can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of interesting how these divisions work in hockey, where we're like, technically we're above the Golden Knights, but we're not in the same. Are we just not in the same division? I think we might be in the Central Division. So we're in our division. The next team above us is the Wild, who have 90 points. They're 12 ahead of us.
Yeah, we're not passing.
We're not catching them. So, but in the Pacific, we would be almost in first. The Ducks have 80. We're at 78. Oilers have 77.
That's
Knights
crazy.
Have 76. So kind of interesting. But I'm excited to watch playoff hockey. That's what we need here in Utah, to watch some playoff sports. So hopefully Jazz get there next year, but Mammoth.
Yeah, honestly, once the playoffs start, catch us talking about hockey quite a bit on this podcast.
Yeah,
I think we'll be pretty into it.
That's gonna be hype.
The NBA playoffs will be going too, but if the Mammoth do well, we're gonna be talking a lot about that.
Oh yeah,
so
totally.
Be prepared for that.
Be awesome. How's your March Madness bracket doing?
Oh man,
after round 1.
I know there's some controversy around people saying, do you do more than one bracket? For me, I do my one bracket and then I just make the rest as like for fun.
Yeah, that's fair.
So my one bracket, not doing so hot. Doing so hot.
Interesting.
I lost a few points because I put my heart on there instead of my head, and I put BYU a little too far. Same with Wisconsin. I put them a little far. So I lost some points there. But I'm just happy I got at least one upset right. I picked
Yeah.
VCU,
Let's go.
and that was a really exciting game to watch. It came down to the
That was a
wire.
great game. They had to come back from 20 or 19 or something.
Yeah, that was insane comeback.
Crazy.
And Carolina could have won. They just missed some free throws.
Yep.
That really sealed it for VCU.
Yeah.
It's good to know that VCU, that BYU beat them last year. I don't know if you remember.
Yep.
Now that they got back to the tournament, they beat North Carolina. So
Yeah.
good for them. They'll wait a year to when they're not playing BYU to win.
Yeah. Yeah, we primed them to beat North Carolina.
Yeah. Yep.
I think there's been some exciting games. I got this is probably my best first round ever. 28 of 32 picks, right?
That's insane.
I don't know
it's
how I
been pretty
did that.
chalk the second day, but there's
Yeah.
still been some upsets.
Yeah, I got High Point and VCU as my two upsets I picked.
Let's go.
Missed a couple. I thought USF would beat Louisville, but Louisville was just
And USF
Playing
made it
pretty
a
good.
game,
yeah.
but it was just they were too far down.
I thought they played great defensively, but they were like in the first half they were like 1 for 16 from 3, and it was just like you can't win. Like the BYU's run into that all season where like you can't win if you're not hitting your shots. So it's like
I noticed the first game TCU, that was a pretty good game
that was
to
a
start
great
off.
game. Yeah.
One of the guys on TCU, Edmonds, apparently he played at Salt Lake Community College.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's cool to see
I didn't
that.
know
And
that.
then they also had a guy from Utah, UVU, Toulson.
Yeah.
So I feel like TCU give us some Utah love with
yeah,
some
he
of the
played
guys
for
that they
BYU
had.
that year before that too.
Yeah,
Played
so
with Toulson.
Toulson and Edmonds. So that's some Utah
Yeah.
winning. And then Utah State. They
Yeah, they had a
went out
great
there and
win.
they beat Villanova. That was a close game, but they outplayed them at the end. So even though BYU's losing, there's some Utah representation, right? I don't know.
Yeah, lots of Utah representation. I thought that Kentucky game was really good.
Oh yeah,
Mark Pope and what's his name, Colin Chandler. Colin Chandler plays
Oweh.
really good. Yeah, take
guy
Oweh.
hit that. Do you see that shot that he hit?
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was probably the biggest, craziest moment of the tournament so
that
far.
was so wild.
That was
yeah.
insane. I was excited about that.
Yeah, we didn't get any like crazy 15 or 16 upsets, but there was some close ones. Like I don't know if you saw last night, Furman had UConn on the ropes.
Yeah, they did.
Duke barely slid by Siena for some reason.
That would have been insane.
Yeah. I saw some of the Duke players after the game talking about how they just like thought this would be an automatic win, so it seemed like just a mindset issue going into
That's
the
what
game.
happens when you lose Coach K. Coach K would have had him.
Yeah.
Well, Coach K did lose to some 15 seeds at some point, but yeah, you gotta respect all these teams. Siena they didn't sub a single guy out the whole game too.
Yeah,
It's
those
pretty
guys were
crazy.
balling.
They were just on fire, and then they ran out of gas.
It was a great first round overall. I thought most of these games were pretty good.
I'm just glad I'm not a fan of Prairie View A&M.
Yeah.
They lost by like 60 points to Florida.
That was a bet. I thought Florida, of all the 1 seeds, was most impressive in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm a big Florida believer. I don't know if I believe that they'll go back to back, but
They're probably going to go far after
Yeah.
watching that.
they're going to be pretty good.
And I guess the elephant in the room, BYU choking to Texas.
Yeah. How far did you have them going on yours?
Just past Gonzaga for one more round.
Me
so.
too. That's where I'm. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Gonzaga, I watched them. They looked pretty good in their first game. I think they could give Texas a lot of problems. So that'll be a good game to watch. But I think the big problem with BYU is it feels like once a team figures out a game plan against us,
Yeah.
it just feels like we can't adjust.
Yeah.
That's part of it. And then I also feel like we just didn't have very much talent to rebound the ball.
Totally. There's not
Kaba
an
was in
effort.
foul trouble, and even he was struggling to rebound against Texas. And yeah,
And that big white guy was just tearing.
I
us
know.
up in the
It's so
paint.
frustrating. He would just dominate in the paint, and we couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you though. I don't know if you saw, there was like the mid-game interview where they asked Texas coach like, how do you stop AJ DeBonsa? And he literally just said, you can't stop
true.
him. And I think that's like a cool compliment to AJ, but also the fact they still beat us, even though like the teams are just willing to be like, okay, AJ is going to be AJ, he's going to score 40. But as long as we can stop anybody else from doing anything else.
And it worked for them, yeah.
We're going to beat them. So, yeah, we got to...
And they did double AJ quite a bit throughout the game, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
He had still had like more than 35.
Yeah. So I hope next year... I know Kevin Young mentioned that next year they're going to reload around Rob. So I'm hoping that means Rob's Wright's going to stay. I think he told Baylor he'd stay last year and then didn't, so I hope he'll stay.
Who knows what's going on with him. He's going to have some time to decide.
So I hope he'll stay. We get Bruce Branch. I hope we can build a little bit more like depth around those guys.
Pickens and KJ Perry will be back.
Yeah,
there's
they'll
some
be
guards
great.
that we can build around.
It'll be interesting to see with our center. I think that's going to be our biggest question. Stanton, is he going to stay?
Yeah, what's going on with him?
Is Beto going to stay? Because I hope not, because he might be the worst basketball player I've ever seen in my life. Ahmed, he's just so bad.
Yeah, we need some center play.
And Boop, I hope he stays because he's a great player. I think there's a lot of good pieces we have. We just got to keep some guys around to get some chemistry, I think, too.
Yeah, and Boscovich is gone. As much as we were frustrated by Boscovich, we need somebody to replace him.
Yeah, totally.
I feel like we just need one of those like 7-foot centers from Europe.
Totally.
Seems like all the tournament champions have had some huge guy as center.
Maybe
like Donovan Klingen was out there, Isaac Edey.
Yeah.
Like all those teams with the big centers, they always go far.
Maybe that 7'5" guy from Florida is looking for a new spot.
7'8".
Oh, is he 7'8"?
He's 7'8" or 7'9" or something.
Yeah, he's
huge.
Actually, I don't know if I want him. He's kind of he's watching him move just kind of looks painful because you're like, oh my gosh, this guy is. It looks hard to move around being that big.
Yeah, but I don't know. We definitely need some. We need some big man play.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then I think we look pretty good at guard, even if we lose.
Yeah.
Rob Wright, we have some good guys coming in, and Bruce Branch.
Totally.
Bruce Branch will be pretty good too. He won't be AJ, but he'll be solid. Probably start.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get some other guys like Kozlowski comes back from injury. It seems like he's just been injured all the time.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually ever seen him play.
No. And then, we could get, I don't know who's coming back from mission. I know Chamberlain Burgess is supposed to be, he was a 4-star we got, so I don't know. We'll see what guys we get back from missions and stuff too.
But a good first round. I'm hoping for some more upsets in this second round, if I'm being honest. I may not be good for my bracket, but I'm ready for some real madness.
Of all the teams, which team are you looking at? Which team you think could upset if you had to repick right now?
That's a good question. I mean, I could totally see VCU beating Illinois.
Yeah.
They're on a good path. I think that Illinois showed some weakness. I don't know. Other than them, though, it's hard. I could actually see we're watching this game right now. St. Louis against Michigan.
I was going to say that might be one of mine. Yeah, they looked really nice.
They were
against Georgia.
so good against Georgia, so they might be higher than a 9 seed in the way that they're playing.
Yeah, totally. I honestly might pick one of my upset picks. I didn't pick it originally because I really like UConn, but UCLA, they're kind of rolling.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were on such a roll. I would have picked them.
And UConn, I could see that being a little bit of an upset.
I don't know if you consider a 5-4 an upset, but I do like Vanderbilt and St. John's.
Yeah, I don't mean that.
And Texas Tech. All 3 of the 5s left. I like them.
So I don't feel as confident about it after I saw their game last night, but I did have Miami going to the Elite Eight.
I actually don't think that's a bad pick.
So I'm still rolling with it. They had a good win last night. I don't think Purdue's unbeatable, so I don't know. And then the next round's not too bad. I think they could beat them. So
did you put Miami to win Purdue and Gonzaga?
Well, in my bracket, I had BYU. So
that's
6
fair.
versus a 7, and I was like, we played them already this year, and they almost beat us. So I don't think that it's without Richie that it's that out of the thing that they could have beat us. So that's kind of why I had them in the Elite Eight. But
I like that. But I could definitely see some coming out of nowhere too.
Yeah. Totally.
Like maybe Iowa could beat Florida because they have Bennett Sturts and he's
I like him
really
a lot.
good.
He's a baller.
Yeah, I think at least one of these 9 seeds is going to get pretty close, and we'll see.
Totally, that'll be exciting. World Baseball Classic, Team USA, second place. Or I guess whatever it's called. We lose to Venezuela.
I thought we could win it all, but I mean, I honestly haven't been watching that much. But do you think that we underperformed, or did Venezuela just play better?
I thought so. I mean, like, even going into the last inning of the championship game, like, we had Aaron Judge at the plate. Like, this guy's like breaking home run records in the last couple of years, but he went like 0 for 4 in the championship game at the plate, and it's like, oh, just can't win like that. But it was cool to see Venezuela. It seemed like it really meant a lot to them. I think that's cool. I love watching.
I mean, they've got all that craziness happening with their government.
Their country,
they need some bright spots, I guess.
To win, yeah, totally. So I think it's kind of cool. I don't think the NBA has enough players to do anything like that, but it would be cool if the NBA incorporated something like that, like hockey and baseball have.
Yeah, I mean, FIBA's kind of...
That's true,
FIBA's kind of like that, and I know the NBA's growing and growing and growing, so you'd see something happening at some point.
Yeah, totally.
Well, thank you for listening to this episode of the Tuned In Utah Jazz podcast. Grateful for you sticking with us throughout the season. We know it's been a hard season for the Jazz, but we've only got good things coming. Make sure to follow us as we prepare for the draft, as we go through March Madness, and as we get through to the Mammoth as they hopefully make the playoffs. Follow us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you can find your podcast, and take care.
Peace.